dream I know deep up my feelings for you.
Hello viewers, welcome back to this channel. The headlines. The National Treasury of the Labour Party, Mrs. Oluchi Opara, said that the chairman of the Labour Party, Abure, must explain properties he bought in Nigeria overseas between 2022 and 2023. Moving on after this, we have the Labour Party crisis depends as National Committee suspend Treasury after asking Chairman Abure to account for 3.5 billion election fund. But before we commence fully with this news, welcome to Reality Latest, just your home of news and politics. Thank you all so much for joining us on today's news. If this is your first time of watching, please do also forward to like and subscribe and also share. Don't forget to turn the notification bell to get notified when there's to drop our video. You can send in your comments and keep the conversation lively in our comment section. To all amazing subscribers, thank you all so much for joining us. The National Treasury of the Labour Party, Mrs. Oluchi Opara, insisted that the national chairman of the party, Julius Abure, must submit the party's finances to a forensic audit and explain the source of funds used by him to acquire properties in Nigeria and overseas between 2022 and 2023. Mrs. Opara, who was suspended by the party on Wednesday, furthermore, in her memo to the party leadership, she said that Abure must account for the 958 million raised from off-cycle election in 2023, provide paper trials and documentary evidence of adherence to due process. She added that the party national chairman must declare every single dollar raised from the 2023 U.S. fundraising tour and provide documentation on where donations were warehoused and how same was appropriated. On Tuesday, it was also reported that Opera called on Abure to render an account of party fund amounting to over 3.5 billion. Mrs. Opera, who made the demand on Monday during a press conference, had said that the money was the proceeds of sales of form and sundry fundraisers for the 2023 general election. The party thereafter on Wednesday suspended her for 6 months amid the crisis. Meanwhile, in a full memo she wrote to the party's leadership, which was made available, the treasurer noted that she urged Abure to immediately answer the following. 1. That he should provide documentation for the 3.5 billion raised from the sales of funds for 2023 election and why Edo State proceeds went into private accounts. Number 2, he said that the account for the 958 million raised from off-cycle election in 2023, that he should provide paper trials and documentary evidence of adherence to due process. 3, she said that Abure must declare every single dollar raised from the 2023 U.S. fundraising tour and provide documentation on where donations were warehoused and how same was appropriated. 4, he said Abure must explain the source of fund for properties bought in Nigeria and abroad between 2022 and 2023, provide paper evidence. And she said Abure must allow her to unfettered access to party accounts and record as National Treasury. And Abure will submit to an independent forensic audit of their party finances to be conducted by a reputable international firm, and he will explain why he has deliberately undermined her authority and floated the Labour Party constitution. And he will provide evidence that he has not abused his office for personal enrichment through theft, money laundering, or abuse of power. She added that the Labour Party belonged to its broad membership, not a single power-drunk individual, and she urged Mr. Abure to do the honourable thing and submit himself to a transparent process that will restore confidence, trust, integrity in their party financial dealings. That she sincerely hopes the chairman sees this opportunity to clear the air, that their loyal supporters deserve nothing less. And she equally urged all members of the Labour Party, including the HE, Mr. Peter Obi, and the Nigeria public to stand with her in demanding accountability and transparency from their chairman, because they cannot allow actions of a few individuals to tarnish the hard-earned reputation of their party or undermine the trust of the people they serve. That it is time for change, and they stand ready to fight for the principle that define them as a party and as a nation. So guys, I would like to know your thoughts, your contributions, opinions, and towards this issue. Let's keep the conversation lively in our comment section. Moving on to the next one. The crisis in Labour Party has deepened after the National Working Committee slammed a 6-month suspension on their national treasurer, Oluchi Opara. The suspension was announced on Wednesday at the party secretariat in Abuja during a press conference following the opera's allegation against the national chairman, Julius Abure. Mrs. Opera had on Monday challenged Abure at a press conference to account for 3.5 billion raised from the sales of nomination form and fundraising activities in the build-up to the 2023 general election. On a ri0us TV show, Mrs. Opera claimed that Abure-led National Working Committee was working hand-in-hand with the Edo State government, which is governed by the opposition People Democratic Party. Addressing the journalist on her allegation on Wednesday, the National Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party, Abure, described Opera as a mole who was being used by descendants in the party. Announcing her suspension, the party spokesman said that the decision to sanction her was taken after she failed to honor an invitation by the National Working Committee to resolve the conflicts. After the 2023 general election, the Labour Party was marked for total annihilation by the system for daring to upstage the status quo of the political classes. Little did they know that the fumigation was far from complete until last year, when sign emanates that their National Treasury, Mrs. Oluchi Opara, a key member of the executive, turned out to be a mole in the house, and she has continued networking with the Exp0s members of the party leader. So he was convinced that the treasurer is on a mission to stifle life out of their very cherished party. The National Working Committee was summoned for an emergency meeting on Friday 13. Arising from the meeting, the National Working Committee set up a disciplinary committee to try Opera for bringing the party to disrepute, to exercise their power as contained in the party constitution with the intention of a fair hearing. The National Working Committee extended an invitation to her to appear before February 14 by 10 a.m. to discuss the developments. The party regretted that the treasurer shunned the invitation by the disciplinary committee to clear herself. However, they described the action of Mrs. Opera as an affront to the party leadership and millions of their members who are watching how this party image, which they have labored her to build, being toyed by one ingrate. So the disciplinary committee has recommended to the National Executive Council of the party through the National Working Committee that Mrs. Oluchi Opera should be suspended from Labour Party for a minimum of 6 months, and this suspension is with immediate effect. Honestly, they sincerely regret this development, but they urge the team members to understand that this is a price to pay for success, and they will continue to reform the party until they achieve the best, good enough to drive, new Nigeria's agenda. So guys, let me know your thoughts, your contributions, opinions are in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. Once again, thank you all so much for staying with us. We really do appreciate. On this note, we have come to the end of today's segment. Like, comment, awareness, stay safe, guys. Bye.